Hello and welcome to Why Not Wednesday. Hi, Crystal. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing, Dan? I'm
I
so
am.
excited to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. I can't wait to introduce you to Y Nation so we can talk to everyone about what you're doing. We've had such a great little whirlwind of activity since you joined us. So let me introduce you, Crystal. Crystal Davis is a number one international best-selling author. Her book is titled Authentic Driven Life. She's a producer, a speaker, she's a certified dream builder, and a life purpose coach. And her passion is empowering authors, coaches, and entrepreneurs to discover their purpose, develop unshakable confidence so they can deliver their message to the world. So she's going to help you find your voice to visibility and become an expert to millions on stage and on camera. And I've seen her on camera. I mean, she joined the Y Institute, and no sooner had she finished training and had become YOS certified, but she was on a live video telling everybody about what she learned. So let's start with that, because one of the things that we found out really quickly is you wrote a whole chapter on why, how, and what in your book, Authentic Driven Life. So tell us about that and what you saw.
Yes, this has been one of my biggest purposes. As we all know, it's why I wrote the Authentic Driven Life, my book and workbook. And, it's chapter 3. I wrote about we all need a why. And, I've been in network marketing, direct sales, oh my God, 25 plus years, work with Les Brown, and always heard Les Brown was always, your why has got to make you cry. And, it's your desire. It's a passionate desire and a burning why that you've got to have a why that inspires massive action, right? In our
Yes.
purpose. So many people walk around, Dan, that don't even know their purpose, don't know their vision, purpose. And this has been a big passion of mine working with multiple coaches all over the world. But a plan also, or how, in what I wrote about, I wrote the how part is a plan of action, which points us to how success will be achieved and
Right.
when, right?
Right.
How we're going to achieve that, when it's going to be, and for me, mastery, we'll dive into that because that's my how.
That's
Mastery, oh my
right.
gosh. And then a clear vision is my what. What is your clear vision?
Right.
Understanding what you want to achieve. And for me, it's always been mission 1 million lives, which I've now shifted that to the why method. We are going to empower mission 1 billion lives. I want to have help this Y Institute and all of us coaches here in the Y Institute. I'm very passionate about people discovering their why and
Yes.
discovering their purpose. That is what I wrote about. There's in several chapters, it's discovering your purpose, it's discovering your
Mhm.
why, developing an unshakable, confident you, so you can deliver your message, right? If we don't know our why, how are we going to be perceived in the world, Dan? That's what we've got to know our why.
I love that. And so here's the other thing I always like to do, Crystal, when we introduce people. So, by the way, I didn't introduce myself. For those that are tuning in that haven't, I'm Dan Dominguez. I'm the Chief Growth Officer at Y Institute, and we're here live every Wednesday talking to someone about why not moments, right? But one of the things that I love to start with is, what is the why operating system of our guest? And you've mentioned a couple of your whys already. So your why is trust. You believe that success happens when relationships are based on trust. Your how is mastery. So how you build trust is by seeking breadth and details. You know what you're talking about. So you make sure that what you bring is something that you're expert at and you take pride in that. And then your what is to contribute. You want to make a difference and then have an impact on the lives of others. So it makes total sense that you want to impact not just a million, now you want to impact a billion lives, which is our goal. That's our big, hairy, audacious goal. So we're so glad to have you here because you're going to help us reach that goal. As our, Brenda Cox Harkins is on. I see Watson Jordan from Asheville, North Carolina. Linda and Barbara. You're gonna make some fans here today, Crystal, because you do some amazing things with video. You do some amazing things with purpose, and you do some amazing coaching. So we're so glad to have you on the team. Let's ask this question. Tell me how your why of trust, your how of mastery, and your what of contribute fit you. When you first found that out, tell me what that felt like.
I was like spot on. I'm like, is this reading my mind? And it was so spot on that I know that it makes so much sense. I've always been, and hence the authentic driven life,
Right?
trust, trust, and building relationships. Relationships to me and to all of us out there, you guys, our relationships are what matters most. You know, if we don't have a good relationship with ourselves, first of all, and we don't know our why of trust, or if is it contribution, then how can we give? How can we contribute? Contribute being my what? You know, how can we be the best versions of ourselves if we don't know that why, right? The why, how, what? So when I found that out, and mastery, oh my gosh, I get in my own way. You know, I've got to master everything. Like, you know, way back before becoming a certified coach, which that doesn't really matter. Although I've earned multiple certifications, you know, work with Mary Morrissey and Dreambuilder, and I became a certified Dreambuilder coach. And I've worked with Tony Robbins and Chloe Madonis and Donnie Epstein and so many, and Joel Bauer. I became a speaker coach, you know, to find my voice. And it's been a journey. We all have a journey, right? And our why is to help millions of people find their why and share their story. And, you know, it's relationships are what matters most to me. Building that trust, building that with our teams, with our people we work with ourselves and our family and our friends, right? And when I discovered the why, and I went through this questionnaire, I was blown away that it, you know, it put it in perfect alignment for me in who I really and what I stand for, Dan. It was very impressive, and it made so much sense. And now that I've taken, and Linda's on here live with us, she went through the why, and she's contribution. It's interesting, the people that have been going through the why questionnaire, where they're landing. And I obviously am drawing a lot of trust and a lot of contribution, because that, and mastery is one of the lower ones, but mastery, I'm a master at having to know everything and master the skills, like by hitting that live button. And, you know, we'll talk more about that, I'm sure, but
absolutely,
it's finding, you know, that unshakable confidence, because we got to share our stories. This is how we connect with our audience. And when we know our why and you put it out there, you connect with certain people. And I'm all about the touch, feel. Are they being seen, heard, felt? You know, the kinesthetic with your audience. This is very important, right?
I love that. And you know, it's interesting you said that. When you're going to build your coach profile, right? And you're going to see what percentage of your clients are in each why. By far, for me, now it is the most common why, contribute. About 22% of our clients are contribute. But for me, it's like 40%. Because as one of our previous guests said, your vibe attracts your tribe. If you tell people what you believe, you attract people who believe what you believe. So you're going to attract the trusts, you're going to attract the contributes, and you're going to attract the masteries. Even though you mentioned it's one of the lowest percentage in terms of percentage of the population, it's only about 4% of the population that has that as their why. But you're going to attract those people because they're going to resonate with your message. Your message comes from a place of trust, a place of mastery, and a place of contributing to the success of others. And you're also what we like to call the noble sandwich, the why of trust and the why of contribute. When you put that on the bookends with a really strong how of mastery like you do, you get what I like to call just a super connector that knows what the heck she's doing, because she's got mastery right there in the middle, right? So tell us about the book. You had a chapter on why, how, and what, chapter 3. So how does what you've learned since joining the Why Institute vibe with what you had written?
It vibes because it's what I've written and it's what I've been studying. And here, Gary, God bless him, he put this together. And now that I've gotten involved, I met him through, Mike Koenig's. Okay.
Yes.
Mike Koenig's is where I went to do my book and
Right.
met Mike and met Brian Tracy. I'm all over personal development. I love
Yes.
personal development. All the books, it's always becoming the best versions of ourselves, right? And that's what my book is really about. It's discovering your purpose. My book is how to authentically become the best version of yourself on 12 different levels. And values, I'm so big on values. And this is a big part of the Why Institute, our values and how we're being perceived. And, it just is building the foundation. And it really, to me, Dan, is the entry point for people right now over the last several years going through what we have and this world has gone through to find our voice, to find our brand. We walk around wondering, what is my brand? What is my why? How do I want to be perceived? And this why, it fell into alignment. I know I've struggled with that I've been to thousands of events, Brendon Bouchard. I've always bettering and mastering, my coaching skills with these masters that are masters duplicating that. Right. And I just know that when I discovered and I went through the certification of this program, everything made so much sense that this now is the entry point for working with me. Yeah. I've got to know people's why, how, and what to partner with them for teams. This is all about team building. I'm all, network marketer, 25 years, walked stages, built, recruit. I was top recruiter, top sales. And it's all about relationships. That's what matters most, and how you communicate with the other individual in the room, whether it's team member or your family, or, how do you communicate? How do you work with one another? And that's where it really hit home for me, because it's what I've written about. I have a workbook that goes with my book, and it's over 100 pages that dives into these skills. I've gone through Landmark. I've gone through, and it just made so much sense, Dan, that I just know I can't wait to get this message, get this why out to the world, so everyone can find and know and step into their power with their branding when they come on, because we give them, a simple YOS, their operating system of your mini brand. And when you're being introduced, and I'm all about that marketing. I love marketing and being a marketing strategist and all of that as well behind the scenes. So,
I know you're making Gary smile, our founder and CEO. He's on and he's listening, but I know it's making him smile because one of the, his YOS is better way, clarify, simplify. And when he hears that this is so simple, you took something that was really abstract and really, it's hard to understand. What's your why, right? A lot of people talk about it, but he's made it clear and simple, which is his how and his what. And he found a better way to help people do that. And we just discovered, we just launched the YOS only a couple of weeks ago. And that has been so groundbreaking for a lot of our coaches to see not just the why, but the how and the what of everybody they work with. I see Steph McPhee is on. She is the why coach out of Florida. You guys are going to get along, Crystal. You'll have to connect with her. But she says that was exactly what attracted her to the YOS. How it clearly identifies your brand. When you go somewhere and you tell someone, look, if you're going to work with me, we've got to trust each other. Understand?
Exactly.
You've got to understand that I'm going to want to learn at a very deep level, whatever it is that you bring. I bet you dug into our course deeper than most people do. You were rereading videos. You've already asked me for additional resources, and we're going to give you all that stuff because we know that you need that. And ultimately, you're going to contribute to the success of others. So if you identify yourself that way, you're going to attract people that are looking for a coach that they can trust,
Right.
that's got a deep grasp of what she does and is
Yes.
ultimately going to contribute to their success. And those are the people you love working with,
I
right?
do. I do. Because I've worked with, and guess what? The mastery piece, it just goes back to before I discovered this, Y Institute.
Yeah.
I've worked with a lot of athletes. Mal Pugh read my book. She won the US. She was the youngest and still is the youngest on the US soccer team to win the world title 2
Yes.
years ago. And she was one of my clients. And, mastery, and see, it's showing up, consistency, persistency, knowing that, that I work with a lot of athletes. It's funny. I attract like 10-time bodybuilder Lauren Powers, who
Yeah.
I can't wait for her to do her why. I've just sent her info, and I know it's contribution.
Outstanding.
I know I can already tell because
Yes.
we are speakers. We get on stage and we love to contribute, give, right? Yeah. So mastery is a big one. And I know that stems, and I got to bring up this story real quick from my ice skating days. I skated and I was coached. My first coach was Carlo Fassi, who trained 4 Olympic gold medalists, Dan.
Wow.
And I took a state title. I won a gold medal. And I get the power of mastery. You got to master, showing up at 5 a.m. to a cold rink here in Colorado,
Right.
bundled up, and consistency, persistency, showing up. And I know that mastery, you guys, you master these skills. And for coaches out there, this is a no-brainer for us coaches. This whole discovering your purpose, your why, and mastering that, right?
I
People need to
love that.
discover themselves.
And we all, and what's really great about listening to you is we all need the different whys. So me, I'm a contributor, so I contribute with you, but my how is to challenge the status quo and do things differently. So hearing you talk about consistency and persistence is one of the things I need work on, because for us challengers, if every day is different, the better, right?
Yeah.
But we understand the need for consistency and persistence. So it's so nice to hear and understand that we all need each other. And that's why what you might think might not be a great fit for you, somebody that comes to you that's a Dan Dominguez you might be exactly the coach I need, that's going to force me to do those things that I don't do. I work really well with right way people because those people create structure, they deliver reliable results. And guess what? I need that in my life, and I need someone else to do it because I don't have the energy for it. And so we need those people in our life. You probably have those people working with you.
Exactly. I do. It makes so much sense what, you're sharing. And the challenge, the status quo, is my youngest daughter. Oh my God. Since she was born, it was like, she didn't want to, it's so interesting, taking my family through this YOS and seeing what their why is. And can't wait to have them do the OS part. So both of my daughters, and my oldest just did Claire, it took her 2 weeks, like we were talking earlier, Dan, to actually take this questionnaire, to go through it. It takes 5 minutes, you guys out there that haven't done it. She was blown away. She's like, guess what she is? Clarity. Right. She needed clarity. She's like, Mom, what is this? What am I doing? It's just like constantly questioning me. And it's just, when she did it, she's like, I'm like, so what do you think? She's like, Mom, this is me. This is so me. And
you'll get a kick out of this, Crystal. A lot of times we're talking to someone, they say, so tell us about this why thing you do, Dan. Tell us about it. And I say, rather than tell you about it, let me show you. Let me send you a link. Take 5 minutes. Let's figure out your why, and then let's talk about it. I had a coach. He said, okay, I'll take it. And I said, I'll give you a few minutes. I'm going to go to the restroom, wash my hands, and I'll come back. And when I came back, he was still on the first question. And he's like, and then it took us half an hour. And he was, well, what do you exactly mean by this? Guess what his why was? Clarify. Right. He wanted to be really clear and really sure of what it was that he was answering. And I'm sure that's the same thing with your daughter. But we are having such a good conversation, Crystal. I want to make sure I get to all our questions.
Yes.
What's the biggest why not moment of your life? Tell us a time you said, why not? Let me do it. Tell us about your biggest why not moment.
Wow, I've had many. Probably the biggest and I may be sharing something different than I gave you.
That's okay.
Um, yeah, I have to say diving in to coaching 100%,
Mm-hmm.
um, and leaving my network marketing direct sales business, even though I'm doing a little bit of that on the side. My biggest why not moment was going, discovering myself and hitting that live button and taking my voice and my story online,
Yes.
developing my book, and stepping into my power that I knew I had to let go of being that gerbil on the wheel. And
Mm-hmm.
I was afraid to speak up and share my life's work, and our past. And we all have a story. And I
Yes.
think my biggest why not is jumping into this and jumping into life print, which
Mm-hmm.
goes scientifically proven, which is even deeper on a very deep level, which I can't wait to share with our audience. It's as if it's reading our mind. If someone could read your mind and share with you work that you don't even know about yourself, it's been the journey of why not, Crystal. Let go, be authentic, be real, share your story. And
Right.
nothing lights me up more than getting people to share their story,
Right.
share their power with the world, because you never know who's waiting for you on the other side. Your story matters, your message matters, your why matters, right, Dan? So I
I
think
love
that's
that.
my biggest, why not, is taking that leap of faith. And, it was Les Brown on the stage at Eric Worre's event. Oh my God, years ago. And I'm like, okay, this coaching thing, I knew, because I was an ice skating coach in
Yeah.
college, from the ice skating. I love coaching. I love helping people master their skill, master going live, hitting that live button and sharing their story with the
Yeah.
world, becoming a #1 international best-selling author. You know, it lights me up. That
Well,
lights me up more than anything. Why not? So I'm on this big mission, like you, Dan, to help as many people, empower as many people as we can to discover their why.
I love that. And I remember the first time we spoke, your background said life print, your life operating system. So how could we not connect when we're talking about the why operating system and you're talking about the life operating system? You know, one of the things that I love is your passion and your passion for people. You take people from invisible to visible. That's your superpower, from unknown to known. Tell me how you do that.
Wow. Well, in 3 simple steps. First of all, is discovering their purpose, and I help authors, authors, network marketers, become leaders. And I love helping people go from offline, afraid to hit that live button. They have no confidence to go live and share their story or do their
Mhm.
first live, right? You know what? That you master that, you guys. When I started doing this 3 years ago, hitting that live button, it has attracted the people like Dan here. It's attracted people online. This is how I've gotten on interviews and helped people get their message out to market, right?
Yes.
Going from invisible, you guys, video's not going away. So
Right.
I dove into video and I dove into challenges and helping people get their message out through hitting that live button. So that lights me up, because video stops just like we're doing here. Interviewing somebody to get their message out is even more ideal. So
Yes.
yeah, taking them from unknown, maybe they have a story, their book. I just, I love helping people become #1 international best-selling authors. And I have a track record and I have
I love
proof.
it. Bella just said, because you have to hashtag trust yourself in order to hit that live button. So you had to push yourself to
Yes.
get there, right? And you had to feel like you could master it, right? So, and then now you're contributing by doing those two things. So let me ask you this question. What are you doing on December 7th? You've already got a program set up. Tell us about it so that our audience can know and they can join you. I'm already signed up. I want to hear what Crystal has to say, but let everybody else know about it.
Yeah. I'm having a webinar and it's free. come join me. It'll only be about an hour. You're going to learn more about the why method. I'm going to teach you some skills of going from invisible to visible as well, because that's where, my voice to visibility package. Oh my gosh, I've helped numerous people go hit that live button, and now I can't get them off video, and that's help them with their business, impacting not only their audience, but their income. So you're going to learn how to develop an unshakable confidence in that. And then also this why method, right? I want to bring in some guests, some people that I have taken through the why method. So it'll be December 7th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The link, obviously, to go to sign up, you guys, is crystal.click. You go there, the registration will pop up. We'll be live on Zoom, and we'll plan on spending an hour, and I will answer any question you bring me. I will stay as long as it takes to answer your questions. So I can't wait to teach and help people take their message, their story, hit the live button, because I have all kinds of formulas to do that. I have a 5-step formula that I'll be teaching there on that webinar as well.
Love it, love it, love it. So here's what I'm going to tell you, because you've mentioned him a couple of times. Guess who Gary is going to interview on the Beyond Your Why podcast this week?
Who?
Les Brown is going to be on our podcast this week. So I'm kind of letting that out a little early, but we can't wait to have him on. I know you're going to be listening.
Oh,
so
yeah. I'll be on.
This is about Crystal, but I thought you would want to share that with other people. It's a shameless plug. We're for the Why Institute Beyond Your Why podcast. Gary is going to be interviewing Les Brown. We're so excited to have him, and it's all about connections. We were interviewing someone else on our podcast, and they said, Gary, they said, well, who would you like to have on? And man, I'd really love to get Les Brown. And they said, well, I know him. Let me call him. And next thing we know, we've got Les Brown on Beyond Your Why. So please listen in for that. Let me ask you this final question. What's the vision? What's the vision for Crystal Davis?
Oh my gosh. The vision is to impact right here. We're doing it. Impact Mission 1 billion lives. Help millions of people discover their why, their purpose, why they've been put on this planet, and get their message, their story out to the world so that we can do this together. I can't do it alone. It takes, a team. It takes an empire, right? Mission 1 billion lives. Let's do it. Let's change the world. Let's help people discover their purpose. It's why I wrote my book 6 years ago, you guys. I'm passionate about this. And if you don't know your purpose, you're lost. People are so down and out right now. And I can't tell you how much this will change your life. This will change your life. If you sign up, if you go to crystal.click as well, my free book is there, my free ebook. I have plenty of gifts there. The free webinars there next Tuesday, December 7th. So go out there. Let's do this. Let's change lives, people.
I hope we help you get a ton of people there. If somebody wants to get in contact with you, if they want to reach out to Crystal, is it crystal.click? Is that where we should go?
That's where you go for the gifts. Get in touch with me to get on a discovery call, 15 minutes, hop on. It's free. And yes, I'm here to serve. Go to www.crystal.click, or crystal.click is it, not .com. And I will see you on the inside and see you on future webinars. Thank you, Watson. I
love that. Dr. Watson, he was on Whatnot. He was our first Why Not Wednesday guest. So thank you for being on, Watson. We love having you on. And here's I read something today, and I'm just going to have to post on it because you just hit it. Someone said, your talents are your gift from God. What you do with them is your gift back to God.
Yes.
And thank you for living your talent, giving that talent right back, and then sharing it with the world, Crystal. This has been an amazing half hour that we've spent together. Thank you for sharing everything that you're doing. We love having you as one of our YOS certified professionals, and to have you helping our mission, our vision of being the first step in self-awareness, and our mission to reach 1 billion people who know their why. So thank you very much, Crystal. Everyone, have a great week, and we'll see you guys next week. We're going to have Lisa Schermerhorn on next week, and she is an amazing guest. Her why is challenge. She has some amazing stories about how she's learned about herself through learning her why. So I can't wait to have her. Crystal, thank you very much. Have a great week.
Thank you, Dan. Bye, guys. Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.